All right, we're back. It's been like 2 weeks since I made a video, and we are back on 420, which is gonna be a fun day. I'm gonna make a lot of jokes in this one, probably. We'll definitely see, because this is almost entirely unscripted. I have some notes. I don't have a script. Today we're talking about Adolf Hitler. Right after this. Today is the day that he was born 9 months ago. I don't know, like 100 years ago. I think he was born in 1889. So 100 and something years ago. His dad should have pulled out. Honestly, that should have just been a wasted dump or a swallow. Anything other than what actually happened. Because we did not need him in the world. He fought in World War One. He caused so much devastation in World War Two, and he changed the landscape today. He is still affecting how we live today. So, of course, we all know that 60 to 85 million people died in World War II. This came out to about 1,330 people to 1,600 people died per hour. Wrap your mind around that. 1,600 people died per hour. This is like one person every 22 seconds. To break that down or to put that into perspective for a day, that is 32 to 39,000 people per day. That is everything. 60 to 85 million people died. 50 to 55 million people being civilians, 21 to 25 million being military. This could be from starvation, from disease, the Holocaust, bombings, you name it. But that is common history that we know. What about what we don't know? What about what's kind of theorized? Let's talk about that. On the American side, we have FDR as president. A lot of people say he's the best president. I say he's one of the fucking worst. Sorry for my language. I feel passionate about this one. He introduced taxes on the wealthy. This started off at 5% of people in 1939 and became 90% in 1945. This was supposed to be temporary. We are still paying taxes almost 100 years later. What are we at? Like 87 years? 87 years later, we're still paying taxes. That started off in World War II. On top of that, FDR also put Japanese Americans in internment camps. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. But yes, he was putting people in internment camps unjustifiably. He was taking people's businesses and just saying, "To hell with you guys. You don't need that business." These are people that pledged their allegiance to America every single day. And he just let them sit in an internment camp. Honestly, that shit pisses me off so much because people like to grandstand that America was so much better in World War II when we weren't. Honestly, we were not. People just don't want to talk about it. Yeah, we weren't gassing them. Cool. We still took people's livelihoods away. We still took businesses away. No, that was not good. Bad on FDR for that. And the whole reason why he entered the world, the war, it wasn't because he wanted to help the good. It was because he loved war and he wanted to grandstand and he wanted to push American nationalism, which I'll sit here and say America's the best country on the planet. Fight me. But then you get into like the Rosie the Riveteer stuff. And now the government is collecting double tax, which, yes, this can be a conspiracy theory that the government pushed this to get double the taxes because, government wants money. By 1945, 50% of the war contributions were coming directly from people's taxes. Now, what else can we get from this? This did push America to be a global dominant superpower, which, yes, is a plus because it created a very good life for most of us today. It also created the GI Bill, which, yeah, the GI Bill is absolutely amazing. I do think that our veterans should be able to go into school. But I am very off topic from what I started talking about. I got a little heated. We're talking about Hitler. Now, yes, he did start the, what was it, the Nationalist Socialist Party. I can't remember exactly what Nazi stands for in Germany. But again, that's something that we all know about. A lot of people don't know he's actually Austria-Hungarian, and he fought in World War One. This was where he got a lot of his war tactics from. The man was a psychopath. It's also Napoleon's birthday too, which if you follow Nostradamus, he equates those two to being the first and second Antichrist, which I believe he predicted those hundreds of years before they came into power. They created great atrocities. A lot of people do know. What I don't think people know a lot about is the fact that Hitler was pretty much constantly on meth, I believe. I believe he was taking meth pills pretty much regularly. I do believe that is where the awful design of the Beetle came from. Yes, the Volkswagen Beetle was designed by Hitler. So all those people that are anti-Nazi and want to buy a Beetle, yes, you are going off of what Hitler created. Have fun with that knowledge, because honestly, I love making fun of people for that one. Volkswagen took that idea and ran, and here we are 87 years later, and it's still a big deal. People still love the Volkswagen Beetle, which, to credit, I do believe the Beetles back then were also pretty much waterproof. I heard a rumor some years ago that I've never verified that the original Beetles could actually go into water on the beach. I don't know about that one. Never looked into that one. If somebody could look into that and let me know in the comments down below, I'd appreciate it. Now, because of what Hitler did, after the war, it completely crashed Germany. This also has to do with Russia because they owed approximately 3 billion Deutschmarks to the Jewish community for the Holocaust. That was the first thing that they had to pay. Then, after that, they were given a set amount of reparations that they had to pay back to battling countries. I don't know exact numbers. Don't quote me on that part. The final payment was October 3rd, 2010, which was only about 16 years ago. But now, what did Russia do? Russia just came in and took all the machinery and anything that they could take that was not bolted down, probably even the stuff that was actually bolted down. This crippled Germany for who knows how many years. It definitely made a comeback very hard. Which, going based off of history, because history always repeats itself, that was part of why World War II started, was because of the reparations that Germany owed from World War One. I'm actually fairly surprised that World War III didn't break out and just continue the cycle from there. But again, with that happening, we kind of just dropped the sun on Japan. Now let's get to our next thing: is the treaties that Hitler signed. Okay, we have to get into this one. First off, the whole thing with Russia blows my mind, because Russia will sit there and say, we only attacked Poland because Germany was going to do it. We tried to tell everybody, but nobody listened. So we attacked them too. That makes zero sense. If I were to tell somebody, hey, this is happening, and it was ignored, I'm not going to go attack that person too. I don't get it. How could you justify that one? Now, Japan. Japan was where we got to see how a country could do terrible and awful things and then just be like, we didn't do it. I don't know why we're getting attacked. I don't know why we got bombed. They attacked Pearl Harbor. They destroyed parts of China with some stuff that I can't say here on YouTube. But at some point, we will get into it. What was it referred to at one point? The non consensual something of China or Nanjing? I don't know. I got to do my research on that one. But I've read some of those reports and it's awful. And I'm going to blame Hitler for this. It was absolutely awful. I it's that is something that I'm actually kind of intimidated to get into, because that is actually a very tragic topic, and I don't know how to handle that one yet, but we'll get into that later. Now, for one of the last couple of topics I wanted to get into, a lot of people say that, oh, well, Hitler was anti-communist. No, he fucking wasn't. And this could be a video all on itself. Hitler was a socialist, which is like communism unlight, or diet communism. Communism light. That's what I was trying to get to. Which still ends the same way. War crimes. Just good old fashioned war crimes. You know, the old reliable thing to make your population do what you say. It's almost like Hitler was already doing war crimes. Huh. You know, like mustard gas and Holocaust and yeah, a lot of stuff. There was a lot that he did that people aren't aware of. I could go into this topic for weeks and just keep finding stuff. That man did a lot of evil. And honestly, his dad should have pulled out that day. 9 months ago today, like 100 and something years ago. But now the question is, did Hitler do anything good for the world? The only thing I think he did good was made America a global superpower. That's about it. I would say he gave us the atomic bomb because we had to inevitably do the research because, of course, Germany was doing research, Japan was doing research, Great Britain was doing research, Russia was also doing research, and we got a lot of information from Great Britain, which really solidified that that treaty, not treaty, the allyship. We got a lot of our research from Great Britain. We just pretty much finalized it. Also, because of that, because of the Holocaust going on, Albert Einstein and his family did go from Germany to America, and he helped with the atomic bomb, not directly, but very indirectly. He basically wrote out the chemical formula to be able to have an atomic explosion, which a lot of people at the time thought was either going to create a black hole or set all the atmosphere on fire pretty much instantaneously. So I think that's all I'm going to really get into today. Tell me what you think down below. Did you learn anything from this video other than maybe I hate communism, which vehemently true. But did you learn anything interesting regarding Hitler or what he did in World War One, World War Two, the treaties, maybe FDR? Tell me what you learned down below, or if you just thought something was interesting. If there's something that you want me to talk about, comment down below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the hype button, whatever that stuff is. Um, yeah, tell me what you think down below. I think this is probably one of my most unhinged videos that I've made. I didn't think I was gonna get that unhinged or upset, but here we are. I don't know. I feel better now that I got that off my chest. Peace.